with me today my copy of One Day at a Time in Al-Anon. And Al-Anon is the sister program to Nar-Anon, which is the program that I belong to and that I go to every week. So it's a daily reader, but I don't read it like that. I read it like a book. So it's not like accurate as to, the date, which is July 15th. Like I didn't read July 15th today. I read like August 19th or something. But it was something that stood out to me and I just wanted to share it with you. And I read 2 pages a day. So, let's see. I read August 19th and 20th. So I'll go ahead and read some passages from that to you. So maybe it'll help you and maybe it applies to you and can give you some thought for the day. So August 19th is, my attitude toward another, whether drinking or not, can have untold influence on the life of my family. Perhaps through long drinking years, I acquired the habit of tearing him down, showing my contempt for his actions, indignation at the neglect of obligations. I am responsible for the consequences of such attitudes. Even a little understanding and compassion will show us that our behavior is ego-destroying, and the ego of the drinker is already painfully battered by guilt and fear. So, obviously for me, he drank too, but it was mostly, using. So when I read it, I substitute drinker to user, however it applies. But I feel like that one's important because, it is really easy for us to kind of get in the mindset of needing to punish them or needing to, tell them how much they are faulted or tell them how much they, ruined this or messed up this. And it usually comes from resentment and also just the other emotions that we feel. But we forget that, a lot of times they are, kind of troubled by these feelings on their own. So when we do it, it just adds to it and kind of just makes for an even more miserable situation on both sides. So it is important to keep that in mind and to make sure that, you are using, one more feeling of compassion and empathy instead of just, like I said, making them feel terrible for the things that they did when they're already doing that to themselves. So August 22nd, it's not where I'm at. I have my bookmark there. August 20th is the one that I wanted to read. So we have a member whose husband had recently joined AA was recounting her current experiences. He doesn't go to enough meetings to keep him sober. I noticed that the level of the scotch was a little below the mark I had made on the bottle. He doesn't want me to go to AA meetings with him, but I go anyway. I have to see how this AA works. Another member answers, you're treating him like a baby in a playpen, watching him perform, deciding what he ought to be doing. Who put you in charge of your husband? Why do you think you know what's right for him? Accept the fact that he's trying and let him find his sobriety in his own way. So this is important because it's easy to, keep track of what they're doing because you think that they're the only ones with the faults. And I used to do it too. Like how many meetings are you going to a day? What else are you doing? Are you talking to your sponsor? Have you started working the steps yet? And even after I started going to meetings and stuff for my own with Nar-Anon, I would still do the same things because I'm like, well, I'm working the steps, well, I'm doing this, well, I'm doing that, what are you doing? And as time went on, I realized that, that's not a good way to do things. We need to be focused on what we are doing for our own recovery and just trust, that they are doing what they should. And if they're not, then we can, adapt to, how we want to deal with that, however we see fit. But like I said, the most important thing is to stay in our own lane, stay in our own life, and focus on what we need to be doing for ourselves, and then go from there. So that's another important thing, because like I said, it's really easy to get stuck on that, like trying to figure out what they're doing and making sure that it's enough, whatever that means, because it's going to be different for everybody, So it's always important to, focus on what we're doing for ourselves, and like I said, go from there. So those are the 2 readings that I did today. Hopefully they, stand out to you and give you something to think about. And you can use it for your own life and your own recovery. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any books that you read. This is, like I said, just one of the books that I read, one of the things that I try to focus on. And let me know if you have any thoughts.